Hi, good morning. Welcome back to our podcast at Meet My Agents, and Nadine has come to join us today. Welcome.
Hi guys.
Nadine is actually one of my newer agents. When did you actually physically get your license?
I physically took my test. I did 3 weeks in January of 2024, and I passed my pre-licensing after the 3 weeks. And then 6 days later, I took my state exam, and by the grace of God, I passed the first time. After everybody was like, "You're gonna fail, don't just go for it," and I couldn't believe it.
That's amazing because it's not an easy test.
No.
So I don't know if you know, but 74% of all people who take the real estate test fail the first time. Whew. So you're one of 26%.
It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes, it's amazing.
That's weird. I wanted to just kind of talk because the last couple of podcasts we've had have been like seasoned agents that have come to me from other places. So I actually got you right out of the gate, which I'm very excited about. And you and I kind of have a little bit of a background that, we share, right? Like coming from the same world and
Yes.
that, right? So Nadine is also a police officer.
Yes, I am. I have a full-time career. I'll be starting my 17th year in August. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, and some of you might know that my husband was a lieutenant. So that whole just kind of like brotherhood, I always lend to, being a part of that. So I'm happy that you're here. But one of the cool things about that is, and I wanted to showcase this, is the fact that you can have both, right? You can have a second job, you can be in dual career and actually have success. And Nadine is proof of that. Right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about something. Well, you mentioned it really quick before we started. There's something exciting happening on today's date.
Yes. So Carrie was making her schedules for our podcast, and she asked me to be free on June 30th, and I thought I had something else going on, but then when I looked at the calendar for myself, I was like, oh wow, this is a very important date to me. It's the day that I actually closed on my house 10 years ago, June 30th, 2015.
Amazing.
My first time home buyer experience. So yeah, it's a very sentimental day for me.
And now you're helping others.
Yes,
be
exactly.
your first time home
Full
buyer.
circle.
Yeah,
I love
which
it.
was super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So also you started as we were setting up and everything. You were already starting to like talk to me about questions and stuff like that. And I think this is going to be really good for a lot of new people. So talk to me about some of the questions that you have right now, like, because you've already got deals that are going on. So what's happening?
So I have 4 clients. I have 3 buyers. They're all unique, all different spectrums. 1 investor, 1 FHA, and 1 VA. Those are the different type of financings that we utilize in real estate. Then I have 1 listing, which is unique because it's off market, and you actually purchased the property.
Yes.
So we are working together in many ways here at Goldstone, which I love.
Yeah.
My big thing is this weekend, one of my buyers, she's my veteran. I love her so much. She's been an amazing sport at this. We've been swinging offers since about February when we signed. We got right into the field, and she got her first offer accepted this weekend. So today we start attorney review, and I just had a lot of questions about, all right, we're gonna most likely conclude pretty quickly attorney review on both sides because we're working towards a 30-day close, which it can happen,
yes,
as you always stress, but typically we put on the paperwork about 45 days, and that's what I had on the paperwork.
Yeah.
But it's been 2 weeks of negotiation, so we are really at the 30-day mark. Like we never had to change the date on that. I confirmed with the mortgage rep that he's good to, close within 30 days.
So I want to kind of emphasize this deal for you, right?
Yes.
So, right now in our marketplace, there are a lot of VA buyers anyone who has served gets that ability to be able to, right? To buy at 100% financing, and you can also you could put in your closing costs into the mortgage as well. So it's actually up to 106% of that you can actually physically finance, which sounds a little crazy, right? But they fight for our country, and they absolutely deserve
it.
to have that. But a lot of our vets that have been bidding properties in the last couple of years feel very discouraged because they've maybe gotten outbid on properties. A lot of agents are who don't understand the program, get very leery about it, so they back away from utilizing the program, which I really just, I want them to be able to use the program. So one of the things I want to kind of just, because you're allowing me to give this moment, is educate the agents that are out there for you guys to understand that just because you have a VA or an FHA buyer, there are ways to get the deals done, and we are getting them done, and we are getting them accepted. So it's about letting the seller and the agent on the other side make sure that they understand the VA or an FHA. So a lot of the agents pull back because they say, oh, there's this another appraisal or
The
inspection, which is,
additional.
you were concerned about that, right?
Yes, I was concerned about it in a couple avenues. Number one, once we conclude attorney review, do we do that right away prior to the home inspection, which we briefly spoke about?
Right, so we don't, right? So we always want to get the home inspection done, because that's probably the number one place that kills the deal, is at the home inspection.
Right.
I mean, every once in a while you'll see a deal that'll die like during attorney review, but if you're working with good attorneys, that shouldn't necessarily happen. It's really the home inspection that kills it, because people, they get all excited when they see it, the house, and then they look at the house, and then the home inspection's like the magnifying glass, right? And so like things that they didn't know, maybe the seller didn't even know were broken, those kinds of things, that kills a deal. But the VA and the FHA, it's basically looking for safety issues.
Yeah.
So as long as you don't have a house that's falling apart, like the one that we're in off market with, you're good.
Clearly an investor special.
Yeah, investor special
Yes.
by all means. So as long as things aren't falling apart, there's no chipping paint, the roof isn't leaking, they'll look for things like sheds being on the property line, so that would be like an encroachment. So like there's any kind of encroachments, they look for those things because they want to make sure that the person who's purchasing the house, that the value of the home will stay, right? So you have to think from the bank's perspective as well. The bank is lending 100% or 97.5% if it's a FHA on the deal. So they just want to make sure that day one, you guys, that somebody walks in and buys the house, that there's not going to be a leaking roof and property damage happening, that somebody can't break into the home, that there's not safety issues, that the windows are working, like major things aren't happening. So if you have a home like the one that you have found for your people,
Yes.
it's beautiful, right? It's nice, it's clean, it's neat. It doesn't have to be new. It could be old and neat and clean.
And
just
my
as
client
long
looked
as
at
it's
all different houses on the spectrum. She had such an open mindset, which I loved. But so we did see some older houses, and when I was walking through doing the showings, I was a little concerned of the paint, chipping, and certain issues, and I would point that out to my client. You know, this could be a concern raised when the appraisal comes around.
Yeah.
So, things to keep in mind.
I think I want to like get that piece out of people's head and start thinking about how to really understand how to negotiate and have more power in helping the clients that we have that have these credits and I mean, they're pre-approved, so let's make it happen for them, right?
Awesome.
So what do you think has been one of your biggest challenges as a new agent in the last few months?
Well, I would tell you this. I'm very organized, so it's not really that. I'm very good with my time management, even being dual career, so that's a blessing. But it's been just, I guess, the order of everything, how it's supposed to be, because it's such a fluctuating industry that there's no like black and white here with stuff. Just like I shared again about so we're in attorney review right now. We're starting that. Once we conclude, what's the ideal next step to do in regards to, because we have the 30-day close and we have a little bit of urgency in this deal, that I just want to make sure everything's ordered in a timely fashion. Do we have to wait for one thing to be done as per the next? But
so you do, right? So definitely immediately, like home inspection, I would, even while you're in attorney review, just get it scheduled.
Oh, she's calling today.
Perfect.
Because I'm organized.
We wanna
She's
make
got all
sure
the
that
numbers in
that's
this calling
done.
today.
And then as soon as that's done, I would just remind the seller's agent to make sure that CO is actually scheduled. Just a polite, just, hey, I just want to, make sure that we've got this on schedule. And then your mortgage company is going to do the appraisal.
Correct.
All right. So you're just going to have that as a top of mind. You're never getting your commitment until that appraisal is done. So then we go into commitment. I would also make sure like about a week and a half before your closing, which is going to be very soon because it's going to work very fast. You want to make sure that everybody does utilities. So the sellers call the utility companies to turn them off. Your buyer's going to call all the utility companies to
Just start them up. Yes.
Good. But about a week before closing, you're going to want to get your commission statement out to the either the title company or your attorney.
Well, we're using Goldstone title, so it's going to be very easy.
Yes. So those, it doesn't seem to be a lot of pieces, but it feels like a lot of pieces when you're inside the contract, right? Mm-hmm. Like that overwhelming piece, or that overwhelming, I guess, pressure to make sure it's all done correctly.
Yes. This client is very unique. She's very busy. She works really hard. She's a full-time EMT, so she has that first responder job. So I just want to just try to make things as smooth as possible for her, because it's not like the one client that's kind of like you get sometimes that's home, that's retired, that has a different type of living going on. Hers is a little chaotic with work. So if I can make this one of my goals, obviously, is building myself and my business as a realtor, is to just try to make things as smoothly and as organized for my clients as possible, because we know it's not 100%.
Correct.
But because that's how I want to live my life. So I have to reflect my energy onto my client.
Right. I think that, I've seen that in you. Mm-hmm. Your process of learning has been unique.
Thank you.
Yeah. I watched as you continue to keep building yourself here in real estate. You allowed yourself to really understand the process before you kind of dove into getting your clients. And I think that was just the way that you did it, right? You created that process.
I want to thank you, because honestly, it's not just the way that I envision on doing it, but you offer that here at Goldstone. I know Danielle, another realtor here, as you know, and she's been asking me for some time since I got my license, where are you going, and recommending Goldstone. And then I started a fundraiser, which then brought me here. She talked about your elite program. Yeah. And I just want to thank you so much, because you allow me to sit in 4 classes. They're about 2-hour classes at no expense. I came, you knew that I was newly licensed. You allowed me to sit here. I was able to get a taste of the dynamic of the type of people and how you run Goldstone, and it made sense for me to set that interview up with you.
No, I appreciate that you came. I allow people to come and be part of here first, because it's a really difficult decision, and I think that not all first-time people realize that they have the ability to be able to make that. I have had so many agents that I've interviewed that have come to me from other companies, and like, I didn't realize I could interview other companies, or I didn't know that there was differences at other companies. I just thought that it was the same everywhere, and it's extremely different everywhere. So I appreciate that you said that. So talk to me about, what was your biggest, win, or your fun? What was a moment in the last few months that you really that just meant something to you?
Just this weekend, you hosted a lunch for your agents who won the contest, and I knew I saw a contest, but I don't feel like I'm in that stage in my career or my business, let's say, that I'm building, that I want to compete right now. I'm just trying to learn the fundamentals, build my foundation super strong in my business. So when we were talking about our business deal, right, and then you called me back a second time, I was like, I totally forgot to tell you, you are part of the winners in the contest. I'm like, what contest? I didn't know there was a contest, guys. But that was pretty awesome, and just to be there and just to be with a lot of the top agents, it doesn't even feel intimidating. It feels just so welcoming, and I enjoy
That's
every
awesome.
bit of.
I absolutely enjoy those moments that we have with everybody. It's so fun to see just even your a takeaway from it. But so many of the agents that just like they come and like they're hugging me and they're like it's just such an amazing moments and it's fun and it like kicks off my weekends. You know, I try and do them on like Fridays so that we can all be together. But
Yeah, I think I told you it was like
congratulations,
1
it was
o'clock.
awesome, and
Yeah.
you were one of the youngest in real estate that was there.
I was.
Were you
I
the
am.
actual? Yes. Well, yeah, because John died. He came just before you. Yep. To the two of you. Yeah.
John, yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep. So that's awesome. And James has only been with me for just a little over a year.
That's
as well.
awesome.
So the
Love
three
him
of
too.
you are like they're great. Okay, so what more are you looking? What do you feel like you need right now? Like what are you thirsty to learn in real estate?
I mean, no, I have no limits. Like, I want to learn everything. I know that you're doing with the investment property that you purchased from me, my listing, my off-market listing. I definitely aspire to, in the future, get into investment
Start
properties, flipping and stuff like that. But baby steps, I know well enough to not overwhelm myself. You know,
Yeah.
so that's something that I aspire to do in real estate.
Well, we have so many of us here that actually do that. It's really fun to watch. Like we have John DeFrancesco and DJ Ali and Jeff Bateman.
And do they go into like a team effort when they do that?
It all depends.
Okay.
We all change up. Once
Yes.
you go through real estate and you've helped so many people buy and invest and do land development and build new construction, it's kind of the time that you start saying, okay, it's now time for me to start making some of that money too.
So I do envision that for my future. Obviously, not right now.
Yeah.
But I am.
No,
open
it's
to all that.
amazing.
It's super exciting. And I have a purpose with my real estate business. Obviously, I'm going to be leaving a full-time career soon in a couple years. I already knew getting into law enforcement super young that I'd be retiring young. So I didn't know what my next step would be when coming out of that after completion of 20 years. But I'm happy that the sale of my house in 2022, the same one that I closed on today, has given me the drive to become a realtor. That's the whole reason why I wanted to become, because the process was so foreign. I did have amazing team of realtors working with me at that time, my good friend, and they had just simply mentioned, like, with all the hands-on stuff that I was doing and all the questions that I was asking, like, you would be good at this. And I'm sad to say that I was closed-minded. I didn't think that I could do two things. I didn't think that I could be dual career. I just thought I had to be isolated to my law enforcement career. And when they said that, it sparked a flame in me.
Yeah.
And I just went off of that.
I love that voice that you just said. And there's multiple pieces of what you just said that I like hit on. One, that you didn't realize. And I think in my age now, and looking back on my younger 20s, 30s, I wish that I allowed myself to see the power that I actually had. But I think that there's a lot of people out there that think about doing something, but they're stopped by either fear or worry or just, and so I say to you that if you ever have been thinking about real estate, you should absolutely come and talk to us. We have everything here to help everybody. But I think that the thing is, if you are thinking about anything, right? So you just said something about, flipping houses and stuff. I encourage you, do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Find it.
I cannot wait for the day that comes when I get my first flip.
Yeah. It's so
Goals.
Yeah, it's a great thing that once you stop allowing yourself to have fear or worry, it's life changing. Really, it gives you the ability to be able to do a lot of things that you never believed you could.
And I want to inspire other people to do that too. Being in law enforcement, a lot of people have looked to me and come to me as a mentor. Not that I looked at it like that, but reflecting now that I have you helping me all the amazing people here at Goldstone. Erin's one of my favorite people that I call and bother, but she loves it. I know she does
love it.
It's so refreshing.
She actually does.
She does.
Love it.
She loves it.
Yeah.
And because I'm learning really quick, so I have a lot of questions. So I'm calling. I've picked Victoria's brain. You have an amazing team here, management that helps, and they've helped me tremendously, and they're going to continue to help me because I need them. I need them. I need you guys. But yes. So with that said, it's so refreshing because I haven't needed help in a long time, and it's sometimes people are scared to ask for help. And starting something new, that's the part of the fear that people will fall back. Like, I think that's what that's about, where people are scared. And also, I'm transitioning from a very programmed career where very militant, you know, we go to an academy, we get told we have to listen. I'm creating my brand, my business, and it's literally changing hats. Like, it is, so I have to remember that the time that I put in is going to show. You know, and it's going to reflect differently. That's refreshing because, you know, sometimes people are okay with that programmed life, and it was okay for some time. I come from a family, my father was in law enforcement. He did 30 years. I worked with him 8 years of that. Times have changed, and I just think that this is more fulfilling for me, being in this entrepreneur, developing my business. That's more my speed. I'm surrounded. All my friends have businesses, and I support them and lift them up in so many ways. So the support that's coming full circle for me right now is just overwhelming. Like,
it's so crazy.
I get so excited about it. You know?
That's amazing. I love that you shared all of that, because I think that all of those pieces of what you just said is what so many other people, right? They're worried about getting out of something that's a 9-to-5 kind of easy, like regimented position, because they're worried, like, on the other side, like, then it's just me and I'm the only one responsible for that, like, right? So like, it becomes different, right? It's crazy. And I think that's
scary.
Yeah, you're absolutely not the only one. I absolutely would say, I came from, you know, I was in sales my whole life, even when I was very, very young. I remember, like, being 10 years old, like, you know, like, lemonade stands were like every weekend, and just doing whatever it took.
At 11 years old.
Whatever it took. So for me to be and lend into sales, that was actually something that, you know, was an easy piece of me. And then I didn't have the kids, right? I was like on my own. And so if I failed or if something happened, it was just me. It wasn't anybody else that I had to worry about.
Right.
And then when I had kids, I remember the fear that I actually got right away, where it was like, oh my gosh, now I have kids, now I have this family.
A purpose.
And what if I don't make the money? What if the closing doesn't happen? And then the recession hit, and I went from making well over 6 figures to $13,000 that year.
Are you serious?
And I had 2 babies. And my husband had a good job, but we didn't live on just his income. We lived on both of our incomes. And to go from making that kind of money to making nothing, it was horrendous. It was so I ended up going back to, like, I went to like a 9-to-5 job. I thought I was like, literally.
What were you doing?
I was actually working as a sales rep.
Where?
For a computer tech company, which is bizarre because I am not techie at all. That's why
I'm not techie
Jennifer.
either.
And I was in a cubicle. Yeah, 9 to 5. I brought my little lunch with the little, like,
boring.
Oh my god.
So not you. And I don't know you for a long period of time, but boring.
Yeah,
boring.
And I literally was there for about a week and cried. And my husband was like, "What are you doing?" And then I came back into and then I realized how powerful I could be in getting listings, getting sales when I really needed and wanted something. So I had 2 babies, and I just went out and started hustling. I really jumped into like expireds at that point, and just destroyed it, but found my strength.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So I think everything challenges us, right? Like,
Everything challenges us, but I think when you have a purpose, like your children, your family is your purpose. My purpose is my retirement, and also mobility. We talked about that recently in something, I can't recall, but the mobility of this business. I do also want to move to Florida when I retire, be closer to my family. Everybody's there. I'm alone here in New Jersey. Well, my mom's here, but you know, we're all older. And I would like to settle down in Florida, so I'm looking into dual licensing through states. So, and I just watched Janet's interview. She was the last one, and she's very inspiring. I did do an open house for her. She helped me so much, and she's a broker in Puerto Rico. So just hearing her interview with you was also uplifting to me about, even though she's doing it in another country, she's still a broker over there. She's doing it. So,
yeah, she's like basically dual living. I mean, not careering. I mean, it's the same career, but
yeah.
And it's crazy.
Location, different locations.
Yeah. What is crazy I found was just that I didn't realize how many people actually have homes in Puerto Rico that are here. That was
right. So it was like
mind-blowing
teaching you as well.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, it was just like,
awesome.
you know, I can do this. I can do anything that I put my mind to, and with purpose fueling you, you're gonna get there 1,000%. And I'm just gonna maximize any opportunities that are open to me and brought up to me, and I'm just excited.
Amazing. I love it. So I love that you're here with me. I love watching you grow. I know you're going to be a rock star, like immediate. Yeah. Always at the end, I always ask each of the agents.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah. What would you ask me? Do you have a question that you've never asked that you would like to ask me?
Oh, ask you. Oh my goodness, this is such a hard question. Why the Goldstone name? Where did Goldstone come from? I love it because I'm just calling everybody Goldstoners. We're beautiful gems. I don't know.
And that's what it is. So I'm actually wearing Goldstone. So it's a stone, and it actually means, it is a stone. And it means ambition. And so,
that's so deep. That's so deep.
Thank you. Yeah. So it was, it just resonated with me. And at the time, I needed power to help me have the courage to open up the company. And I felt like I could lean on something. And not everybody believes in all that kind of crazy thing.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
That just touched my whole inner soul when you explained it, because I knew it had a deep purpose. And when I even talk about it, like just this weekend when we did the lunch, I'm like, going out with Goldstone gems. We're all gems. I don't know.
And that's why we use a lot of gems in a lot of the things we do. I just think that if you believe in it, it gives you even more power, right?
Yes.
Not everybody does, which is fine. But I needed encouragement. I needed something to give me a lot of power. And so when we were going back and forth with a million names, and my daughter and my son actually bought me
the Goldstone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's this piece right here.
So this is Goldstone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is from my son. These are from my son. This is my daughter. I have Erin, Jet. Everybody's given me a piece of. And they continue to. Yeah. It's pretty cool. But yeah. That's where it comes from.
That's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
I love that I asked that question.
Yay.
I didn't even know where it came from. I looked at the Goldstones.
Well, thank you so much for being with me. I appreciate it.
We have 2 closings this month.
Yay!
One with Carrie, and we're in a turn review with the other one. So I'm excited to get to the closing table.
Yes,
To
July.
my clients.
Let's make it happen right in the summer. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing our moment with us. And if you have any questions for Nadine, you can get in touch with Nadine. How
Yes.
can they get in touch with you?
Directly my phone. Right.
Yeah.
Do I get my phone number?
Yeah, this is
732-948-2557. Please call me, text me. I'm free whenever you need to talk to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
anybody who's like, especially PBA or vets or any of that, like reach out. to Nadine, that'd be amazing. And then also, if you're thinking about getting into real estate, or if you are in real estate and you're having some struggles, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at any time. We appreciate you for watching, and like and subscribe.
Bye.